Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea Graham and today's pick a card reading features messages from your spirit team on what they would like you to know right now. This is a timeless reading, so you can revisit this at any point and find that a different group or pile has a new message for you. These messages could be regarding something that you are currently experiencing, have recently experienced, or will be experiencing in the future. Keep in mind that free will trumps all decisions, and to always take everything contained in any pick a card reading as a possibility, not anything that is cemented as destiny. With any pick a card reading, take what resonates and leave the rest for others on their own journeys. So today we have 4 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1 is going to be working with the Fountain Tarot. Pile 2's tarot deck is the Rust Belt Arcana. Pile 3 is working with the Ostara Tarot. And Pile 4's deck is the Halloween Tarot. We're going to add crystals in for those of you who like to choose with them. Pile 1's crystal is Ametrine. Pile 2's crystal is Moonstone. Pile 3, your crystal is Garnet. And pile 4, Fluorite. Take a moment, pause the video should you need a little more time to choose. Timestamps and chapters are listed in the description box and the video bar below. And I will see you over in your video. Hello Group 1. If you picked the Ametrine crystal and the Fountain Tarot, then welcome to your messages from your spirit guides reading. Today what we'll be doing is examining messages from your team of spirit guides. So anything that wants to come forward with regards to energies you've recently experienced, are currently experiencing, or may be experiencing in the future are the kinds of things that will be coming through. As with all pick a card readings, please be advised that this is about energy and also potential. Nothing is set in stone, so please take what resonates and leave the rest of the messages for those who need them on their paths. Okay, we're going to hop right into it today. Let's take a look at your cards. We have the 7 of Coins or 7 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 8 of Wands in reverse, and the 3 of Swords in reverse. What your spirit team wants to start out with is a message about both attention and also focus. We've heard that familiar saying that energy flows where your attention goes, and that is what is being emphasized for you, Group 1. The individual here on this 7 of Coins card, or the 7 of Pentacles, is tending to their own garden. They are working hard, taking care with each individual plant, and they understand that there is still some work to do. And for you, this mainly feels like it's about actual focus, focusing on your thoughts, your reality, and what is in front of you. Things that you can actually control versus worrying about things that you likely cannot control. What's really being emphasized to me though is this Moon card. And it could be the artwork in this. This one always really gets to me. This is one of my favorite renditions of the moon. It's looming large on the horizon, and it feels like a huge interrupter to your energy. If you're here and you are watching this, you may be a person who struggles with fear or struggles with anxieties. You may wake up at night and you may find that your heart is racing and is scary, or some kind of interrupting or really a dominant kind of thought, a dominating thought that makes it a challenge to get back to yourself and to your rest is what is happening for you, and perhaps happening for you frequently. I would describe this energy as feeling quite hefty, very, very big, and it likely lingers for some time. So you may find that you're up and you are not getting back to sleep for quite a while. Even if this idea isn't you, that you're not waking up like that, you may still struggle with some fears or anxieties over things that are outside of your control. So the advice for you from your guides, Group 1, I would take here from these cards that are in reverse, the 8 of Wands and then also the 3 of Swords. So I think what your guides are asking you to do is just to slow down a little bit by tuning into this very attentive, this very present Seven of Coins energy. And what this is it feels like to me being deliberately mindful, slowly building in a practice of becoming very present with your action, with your energy, focusing on things that you can control versus, again, the things you can't. And if you are someone who's anxious, this might look like beginning to train yourself to only live within the moment with those around you. So not overanalyzing other people's thought processes, just staying very clean within your interactions with other people. Less future forecasting or analyzing what somebody said or what they didn't say, what they may have been thinking when you were together, or what they really thought about something you said. What are they thinking about you right now? I'm being made to understand that this kind of thinking doesn't serve you, and it's not in your highest good. And by beginning to make subtle changes toward being deliberate and present with those whose company you keep, you will begin to slow down some of this gigantic moon energy that we have here. And we would end up flip-flopping then some of the heartache that you may feel. Things that you may be experiencing as a result of rumination or over-analysis, group 1. Your guides are sharing this message with the utmost love for you, of course. They are impressing to me that you feel like a group who is in their heads a little bit. And what they're showing me is actually, it's related to this Eight of Wands in reverse. I'm seeing what appears to be a big locomotive engine, like a huge train. And this message is about cooling the train's hot furnace down. A furnace that you have helped to maintain with both heat and power by feeding energy and thereby creating momentum to some of these anxieties. And that allows them to play out and kind of dominate your thought process a little bit. So this message isn't about erasing it all, but instead consider it this gentle nudge to begin focusing on being as present and mindful as possible within your relationships. There are many things that you can do to increase this presence of mind, and depending on who you are, that's going to look very, very different. So for some, it might be about putting the phone down, putting it away when you're with other people, so you can give them full attention. It might be practicing meditation first in your day so you can better focus when you are with your loved ones. So building that practice up. It's not easy when you begin, but it can get better and better. It could be about really leaning into only what is said and not reading into what isn't said, or always reaching to rumination beyond any interaction that you're having with others. It could be about not ascribing certain traits or labels to other people. For instance, some people put other folks on a pedestal, especially if you don't think highly of yourself. Or it can be the opposite in some cases. If someone's not meeting your needs, and you're not vocal about that, or you're not speaking up, that can lead to some resentment sometimes, and then those people tend to fall off the pedestal. And so when you walk away from these interactions, whether you're feeling really good about things or you're feeling not so hot about it, some of you within this group may need to work on letting go of the experience as a whole so you can focus on the next part of your day. So let's go back to that. This might mean you're not running over how terrific somebody is or was in your mind over and over and over again, so that those thoughts are occupying or dominating a large part of your day. And likewise, if something did not go as planned for you, working on moving beyond that as well. So again, these thoughts are dominating you or taking up most of your time. As individuals, you will likely know or start to be able to inch toward what your steps might need to be, just depending on who you are watching this. I am certain there are many, many ideas out there and things we also haven't touched on that will fall within what we're talking about here. And so if you're somebody who's an outlier, and we didn't mention that, and you think of an idea or something else you're doing to help kind of reroute your thinking, please share it with us in the comment box below so fellow Group 1 members can find this. And by figuring out a first step, no matter how small, it is a positive change that will help to move out some of this anxious moon energy that we have here and get you into a more present and positive flow, Group 1. And I'm also being told to mention that sleep may be something to look into for some of you. I know we talked about it before in terms of just interrupting thoughts, maybe not being able to get back to sleep, but there may be a few of you out there who are spending a lot of time on your phone or your computer or social media, or you're consuming content close to bedtime. And what you might need to do for yourself is start to build a better nighttime habit, a better routine for you. Thereby your sleep will improve, which will be a first step for you. And then you can see where you need to go next. I'd like to pull our last card here to see what this is. And last bits of advice from your spirit team. And what we have here is get creative with the screech owl. And so I feel like this message can have a bit of a double meaning. Get creative to me is about brainstorming unique solutions to being present. That just is what I keep getting pulled back to, is about presence. So perhaps starting a little list in a journal or in your phone as notes on a scrap of paper somewhere. And you might go back and listen to some of the suggestions that came through earlier. Perhaps write them down and then, add in your own ideas. And what you could do is set a timer. Write anything down that comes into your head during that time. Like you're playing a game almost. Just try it without judgment and see what you get. And if you want to keep writing and brainstorming beyond that, go for it, because this card is all about finding creative solutions to life's challenges. And then the other part to that I want to mention for some of you, get creative can literally mean allowing time for creative expression. That may not be happening enough for you right now, whatever creativity looks like or means to you. Art, music, writing, dance, acting. Schedule some time in for it, because the more you do it, baking, cooking for some of you. I don't know why that always pops in at the end, but I have to get that in there. The more you do it, the lighter things are going to be feeling for you. And it's like when you're doing that, you are plugging into the creative aspect of yourself, which allows for more inspiration to flow through you. And that is just going to light you up. It's going to get you more into this attentive and present kind of state of mind, which is going to help kind of put the kibosh on some of this dominant moon energy that is popping through. So Group 1, that is what's coming through for you today. And I appreciate you. As always, I have big gratitude for your active presence here with us. I want to send you love, and let us know you're part of the Group 1 crew in the comment box below by sharing your favorite creative expression emoji. And if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, this is a great time to check them out to see what other messages you may have from your guides. And if you felt like this video was of value or entertaining, please give it a like and share it with others who you may feel will benefit from it as well. Subscribe to my channel if that's something that you do, because we love to have you as part of our community here. Much love to you, Group 1. Thank you for being here with us today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, my friends. Hello, Group 2. If you picked this Moonstone and the Rust Belt Arcana, then welcome to your messages from your spirit team reading. We're examining messages from your team, anything that wants to come forward with regards to energies you've recently experienced, are currently experiencing, or maybe experiencing in the near future. And as with all pick-a-card readings, please be advised that this is about energy and potential. Nothing is cemented, nothing is set in stone. So please take what resonates and leave the rest of the message for those who need these thoughts on their paths. And we're going to hop right into it. Let's take a look at your cards. Your first card is Strength. Your second card is the Hermit. And I promise these are shuffled. We have number 8 and number 9 with our majors there. We have the Six of Cups, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so the first impression I am getting from your guides is about something very big being contained within you. It's feeling to me like a large bottle or container of some kind, and either the pressure is building up or you're starting to notice that pressure. You're becoming aware of it, and you are perhaps starting to search for the release valve to kind of let some of that go. What this particular energy is, though, is going to vary widely depending on who's watching. But there are two major things I'm being brought to talk about. The first thing is that the pressure can be coming from trying to suppress uncomfortable or big emotions or thoughts for a long time. And the more you resist, the more they'll persist. It could be you feel you don't have the time to look at them, to address them, or the time just isn't right to sit down and express these feelings. It could be you don't feel like you have the right person to guide you through this, or some kind of framework to help you navigate what feels like stormy seas right now. And the second thing I want to mention is that this energy could also be surrounding a large breakthrough of some kind, or it could be actually a combination of both of the things that we were talking about. Strong emotions, which leads to some kind of a breakthrough. Overall, though, the feeling group two is just one of pressure and something buried that wants to be freed, or it wants to be brought to the light. It wants to be exposed and brought forward. I do feel like there is a bit of a block, either with some of the things that I just talked about, like time, lack of a framework, lack of support, or just general readiness. So you may find yourself questioning if this is something that you actually want to do. Do I want to go forward with this and figure out what's going on here? Do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Do I have the support? How do I know that things will actually be easier afterward? Will things get harder for me? How is this going to change me? Will it alter me? Is it going to alter my relationships with others? Will it make things worse for my connections or my general happiness? There feels to be some rumination, but I think that some of you also may push these intrusive thoughts to the side. And this could be dodging that's happening, like you zone out perhaps a little bit to watch TV, like you're binge watching Netflix or something, or you're filling your time with hours on social media, or you're engaging in what we say retail therapy, like playing games on your computer or your phone, just kind of zoning out. So you get the idea of what I'm talking about. There's lots of ways that you can do that. And incidentally, I do want to say, if you were pulled to group one, I do recommend going back to check that out, because there is a bit of guidance surrounding intrusive thoughts. So advice going forward for you from your guides, what they want to say. We have this turtle on the Hermit card peeking out of its shell, and that makes me think of you starting to explore this energy that we're talking about here. If you are the turtle shell here, you're containing this strong emotional energy, or the energy of this breakthrough or growth that wants to happen. The turtle peeking out, the head coming out, is you allowing the breathing space for it to happen. You are, again, bringing things to light. We have something that's really dark here on this card, and then here it's much brighter. So I think part of what can help first is getting settled and getting quiet and making the conscious decision to sit, perhaps meditate, do a walking meditation in nature, because that pulls us away from some of that dodging energy that I was talking about earlier. And for me, it's this idea of silence a little bit that's going to allow that tentative first step toward opening the gates. There's a separation that I'm seeing, and we're finally able to see what's going on inside. So for some, this could be about processing long-held emotions that are stored in the tissues of your body, but just do it bit by bit. This is a very gradual, slow kind of opening. For others, this could be about freeing a creative insight or a talent that you've been pushing down. And I'm sure there's lots of other examples, again, that we could add in here. And if there is something else that we're not mentioning, please let us know in the comment box who you are and what this means to you. But the important thing is I'm feeling like silence and focus and perhaps a connection to nature will be a big push for this energetic opening, just to begin baby steps. This period of focus may require focused attention and redirection to kind of get things moving, and your guides want you to know that is totally okay. There's not a specific timeline here. This is not a race. If you've not meditated before or you find it challenging, just keep at it and find a process that works for you. We know that the Hermit energy is all Virgo, and that may require a unique plan. That kind of energy is about planning, and turtles take their time. They're not in a rush, so take things at your own pace. And another thought, another push from your guides here is the idea of leaning into some fond memories, perhaps for some of you, as you work through things. And I think this is, well, if this is related to developing a particular skill, you can think about the times that you've had some big successes with whatever that skill is, or other skills and talents you have. Just something to give you that extra little push as you are working through things. It's nice sometimes to lean into some of our happy memories, right? That's going to help fuel you, that's going to make you feel good, and give you a little more momentum going forward. And if this is about perhaps doing emotional processing, your guides want you to remember that by feeling the emotion, you're releasing it, and you're making room for beautiful new things. So don't attach too much rumination, too much thinking, too much mental energy as you're releasing old emotions. It's about feeling them and just letting them go. So don't be in the head too much, don't be too logical about it. It's just allowing that emotion to come up and to express itself. Now, of course, if you need support with this, check in with a loved one, a friend, a therapist or coach who can help guide you through this work. Your guides want you to focus on what's positive and what's working for you, and they want you to spread that sunshine around within yourself as much as possible. And they also want to remind you that by doing this inner work, you're committed to creating new and happy future memories down the road. They want you to think bigger picture. And for some, it could be a period of time that follows seasons. So within a season, 2 seasons, or perhaps by your next spring or summer, that's when you may really start to experience the rewards of this opening and this positive new glow up for you. And finally, know that this is a step. It's just one part of a process where you're laying down stronger roots and a firm foundation for the future. And they want you to know this is absolutely worth it, even if there is slightly slower energy, even if this feels so big. We're seeing nature's kind of moving at its own course. Things are meant to move at their own pace. They want you to know this is worth it. Have faith in yourself and have faith for what is coming down the road. Yeah. Last minute messages. We're going to take a look at this oracle card here, and we have Navigate by the Sun and Honeybee. That's beautiful. So this is interesting because we actually have 2 navigation cards here. In this particular deck, the Rust Belt Arcana, there's a beautiful book of really well written essays that goes with this, which I've talked about in one of my other, I'm looking around right now, I don't think I have it with me right now, but I've talked about it in other videos, and I believe this is about monarch butterflies making the treacherous journey across Lake Erie as they are heading down towards their wintering spot, and the strength that it requires to go through that navigation. And then we also have honeybees here that also are navigating. And we've got the dark colors happening here over the lake, And that's that energy we're talking about that's being suppressed, it's being pushed down, which is only causing things to get stirred up more. Whereas when we have navigate by the sun, this is about opening up and allowing light in and seeing what lies beneath. We're inviting it in, we're welcoming the journey. So for part of you, your navigation too might be about talking to others. We have all these little honeybees here, right? Opening up, expressing joy in what's happening. You know, I had this particular breakthrough today. Here's the sun coming down right here. This is something that I've learned about myself. Every little petal on a flower might be something that means something to you. And I think nature too is really, really big with this particular group. So again, that might be spending time outside. All of this might help you with your particular navigation to a place that is more open and I think loving towards this self, deeply present and rooted in your life and your experiences. Group 2, it's just a very beautiful energy that's coming through for you. So Group 2, that's what I have for you today. That's what's coming through from your spirit team. As always, I appreciate you. I have big gratitude for you and your active presence. I appreciate you being here. Much love to you. And let us know that you're part of the Group 2 crew in the comment box below by sharing the honeybee emoji. And if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, this is a great time to check them out to see what other messages you may have from your guides. If you felt this video was of value or entertaining, please give it a like and share it with others who you may feel would benefit from it as well. And subscribe to my channel if that's something that you do. We'd love to have you as part of our community. And much love to you, Group 2. Thanks for being here with us today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my friends. Hello, Group 3. If you picked the Garnet and the Ostara tarot, then welcome to your spirit guide reading. And what we're going to be doing today is examining messages from your team of spirit guides. Anything that wants to come forward with regards to energies you've recently experienced, energies that you may be currently experiencing or possibly will be experiencing in the future. Your guides will be providing information about this situation and these energies and giving you a little advice to handle things. So as with all pick a card readings, be advised this is about energy, it's about potential. Nothing is ever going to be set in stone, nothing is cemented. So please take what resonates and leave the rest of the messages for those who need them on their paths. We are going to hop right into it and take a look at your cards. So right away we've got the Ace of Wands. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. I'll flip it up so you can see it this way first before I put it down. There we go. The King of Pentacles. This is some big energy. Wow. Okay. And, ooh, the Four of Wands. So, what I'm understanding for you, Group 3, is that there is a needed drive for change, a burning desire for it, the knowledge of what can come from that change, but perhaps being a bit stuck about taking the leap to make things happen. The Ace of Wands is all about possibilities, it's about power, it's about creation, it's about potential, and the Ace of Swords is about executing those things. It's about taking plans and moving them into action, about lifting the sword up and executing your first move. The fire of creation that we have here, it's meant to be acted upon with logical thinking and planning and movement so that things can really happen. Both of these cards are usually of a swifter nature, which is really impressing to me that there is this undercurrent of big change that wants to happen. There's an excitement, there's an enthusiasm, there's inspiration, and so much potential here. But if you're here and listening to this group reading, there is something that is just staying your hand right now. You may be rolling in positive energy, but you aren't allowing it to escape. Now, I want to toss in a little side note here. If you resonate with that idea, and pile 2 is calling to you as well, you may want to check that reading out too. Now, it could be here that you see the end goal. You know what you want, but the steps on the way are a bit muddy. Things could be a bit emotionally charged for you right now. You may not feel that you have everything lined up in a way that feels safe for you to take that leap into the unknown. You may be someone who feels like they need more information and wants to research before acting. And for others, I'm getting that there may be a bit of a war with your own desire nature. It could even be hormonal for some of you. So this group may be dealing with like eating, for example, or some kinds of addictive patterns or behaviors. And some of you, you may just be plain tired, not ready for what feels like it's going to be an uphill battle. Both of these cards have these little mice on them. On the sleeve of this one here, and right there, that little mouse. Even the tiniest creatures can make the biggest impact. You know, and as we flip the script here, we've turned this card around. The mouse is actually wearing a teeny tiny crown. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there, right above their head. And to me, that's a sign that this goal, group 3, or these plans of yours are absolutely reachable. So I want to see what your guides have to say about this. So their advice. What I'm being drawn to talk about here is that amulet that is really standing out on this particular card. And it's reminding me again of the mice. You know, even though this King of Pentacles has amassed a great deal of abundance, it has happened bit by bit. We can't forget that. By taking things step by step, by breaking them down into smaller, bite-sized benchmarks. So try to approach things one moment at a time, one instant at a time, one idea at a time. You want to hold these goals of yours in your view, because that's going to continue to help keep these creative fires burning. But building up a plan for yourself is totally okay at the same time. It's being encouraged, in fact. You might confide in or lean into others to help you achieve these goals and to bring these ideas to fruition piece by piece. And I think while this like sheer amount of treasure that this king has amassed here, it may be a bit overwhelming to think, okay, if this is my goal, I've got to get to all of this. That feels like a lot. The advice from your guides is to try and find ways to address your worries or concerns one at a time. Check those boxes off. Find your framework that you want to be working through, and you are going to be steadily finding yourself making the necessary changes to get to where you want to be. You'll suddenly realize at a point that you're probably already there, that you're in this ace energy right here, this Ace of Swords. It's no longer upside down. You're already in the thick of making things happen for you. It almost feels like you're tricking your brain in a sense. And this is just very practical kind of advice. It's very straightforward. This feels like this reading wants to be really short with you guys. But it's like the advice is don't overcomplicate things. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. This is like kind of a complicated mess up here. And when we have like our Four of Wands, you think of like 4 corners of a building, 4 pillars, something that's very, very basic. We're coming together and creating something very, very basic. And that's all you need to do. Baby steps. Little tiny steps. All right, let's see if we have any last messages for you. Group 3. So our oracle card here is, oh, this is cool. Digest your past. And we have the monarch butterfly here. We also had butterflies in group 2. So again, if you were drawn to that, you might want to check that out. What I'd like to do for this one is read from the book. And this is, I forgot to say what it was in the other groups. This is the Illustrated Bestiary oracle cards. So we're going to find where this is. There we are. So monarch butterfly. Before a butterfly can earn her wings, she turns inward, examining all she's been, digesting the pieces of her own past. This is quiet work, womb work, So she shuts herself away from the world to begin the deconstruction. As she performs the rites of unmaking, she sacrifices every bit of self on the altar of transformation. Finally, her body, reduced to a soup of cells, Butterfly checks her blueprint, pulling proteins into wings, preparing finally for flight. If Monarch Butterfly appears in your life, it's time to begin the shedding, digesting your past, and doing the work that prepares you to grow your wings. So I think this is further advice for some of you that there may be a little light that needs to be shed into your past. And perhaps by doing so, you may get to the root of some of these hesitations, possible anxieties, possible fears surrounding this moving forward that wants to happen. It's ready. The energy is there. This is something that you can create. This is something that you can make. And I feel like I want to say nothing is more beautiful than you and what you're doing. Nothing is more beautiful than you. Group 3. So group 3, that's what I have for you today. I appreciate you. And as always, I have big gratitude for you and your active presence here with us. Much love to you all. And let us know you're part of our group 3 crew in the comment box by sharing the butterfly emoji. And if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, this is a great time to check them out and see what other messages you may have from your guides. And if you felt this video was of value or entertaining, please give it a like and share it with others who you may feel would benefit from it as well. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos. We would love to have you as part of our community here. And much love to you, Group 3. Thanks for being here with us today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends. Hello, Group 4. If you picked this green fluorite and the Halloween tarot, then welcome to your reading today. We are going to be examining messages from your team of spirit guides, and we'll be sharing anything that wants to come forward with regards to energies that you are currently experiencing, anything you may have recently experienced, or there's some possibility for things going on in the future as well, and then of course any advice that goes with that. As with all pick-a-card readings, please be advised that this is about energy, it's about potential, and that absolutely nothing is set in stone. Your agency, your personal agency, your free will, that's the most important thing that we have going on here. So please take what resonates, leave the rest of the messages for those who need them on their journeys, and we're going to hop right into it by looking at your cards. All right, so we have got the 7 of Imps, or 7 of Wands, Temperance, the 10 of Ghosts. I love how the moon is following the journey here. And then the Queen of Imps. So the message coming through today for you from your guides is one that is about growth and change and moving forward to explore something new, some kind of new path or an event for some of you. So what we can call it a goal. So maybe you have a goal in mind and things are feeling for you right now a little bit new, a little fresh, maybe even exciting, but I think there may be a little bit of fear. There's an element of risk perhaps to this particular endeavor, whatever this is. I see you as this younger imp here, the one that's unmasked in this situation. So I feel like there may be a lot to learn for you regarding this event or situation or goal. And just know that it's okay to lean into others. You know, see how we have a more mature imp here and they're holding hands. You know, mentorship or friendship or coaches, experts of some kind, leaders. These I feel are good for you at this particular time. So reach out to consult with someone if need be. Make sure that you're on the same path. So if it doesn't feel good to you, honor that. Use your discernment when it comes to reaching out to whoever these people are. There appears to be a lot of support for you, I think, Group 4. There's a group of people, a tribe, people to make things happen for you. You don't have to stand your ground alone. I think that's really what's being stressed for you here. You may be someone who's introverted and you don't always reach out for help, but this is kind of the energy of a collaboration. It may be scary for some of you to open up and to look at changes that might be happening, or the overall process may be a bit nerve-wracking for you. But you have others around you to help make this goal a reality for you. So don't be shy about reaching out, especially if you are someone who tends to do things, again, on their own, processing on their own, researching on their own. It's okay to ask for help here. Collaboration is being stressed, and the feeling of needing to let your guard down a little bit. You know, be more like that little imp there, the younger imp, and approach this with your walls down and with the enthusiasm of a child who has all the loving guidance and all the support that they need around them. They're very open, very trusting. And with this support, you are going to be blossoming, group 4. So we have this young witch here on the Temperance card. I see that as you taking things to the next level. It's at this point here that it's like you have all your ducks in a row. You're taking care of the things that can be controlled and focusing directly on what is in front of you, not worrying about what's out of your control. Balancing out your diligent work with play, having fun, seeing what happens when you go a bit off your typical script too, especially if you're somebody who tends to kind of get into repetitious energies. I see you steadily building on what's in front of you to reach your goal, or this particular event, whatever it is. You know, yes, there's going to be some work on your part, but I see you as enjoying the process here. While you may not wake up super enthusiastic each and every day to engage in the work, I mean, it is work after all, whatever this is, or, you know, there are some nerves here. We are starting out with the imps. You know, they're working hard, they're sweating it out, but you're going to discover, I think, that the growth and progress that you're making is really balancing out the irritation, you know, annoyance, discomfort, you know, with the pleasure of just being in the moment and the newness of discovery. And for some of you, you may get more and more excited as this kind of event approaches, whatever it is. So for some of you, this is on a timeline, I'm getting. This isn't going to be for everybody, but for some of you, there is something attached to time here. This group just has a feeling of newness and freshness, whatever you're working toward. And I am really curious about what this might be. If you would like to share your news with us in the comments below. Let's see what additional advice we have coming from your guides here. So, you know, I love this because we've got the moon here on the 7 of Imps, and then the moon has followed us to the 10 of Ghosts, or the 10 of Cups card here. See if I can get that in focus for you. Some of these cards do not want to focus. There we go. Nope, lost it. Okay. So, I'm afraid to move my hands. Whatever it is you're seeking, group 4, I do feel it's well within your reach should you decide to go for this. Should you decide to, you know, pursue this. For some of you, it may just be happening, I think, regardless. But there's things you can do to make the process like a little happier, a little easier. The 10 of Cups is one of the most fulfilling cards in the tarot, I think, anyway. And it can indicate that all your blessings are manifesting themselves, that you have put in the hard work, group 4, and it's paying off. And for some of you, again, the goals are looking a little bit different, or the events. This could be relocation, actually, like moving to your perfect place, or maybe even out of the country for some of you. For others, it might be about finding a person who's a good love match for you. You know, we're brewing up a love potion here. We're working on ourselves here. For others, it might be changing jobs, or you're moving up in your current career trajectory, like you're making changes to your skill set, your resume. You're getting that mentorship that you need on the way. For others of you, your family might be expanding. Like, maybe this is about having a baby. Yeah. And for others, hiking. You know, maybe you're planning a trip where there's something that you're doing that's like really long distance, some kind of endurance thing. I'm sure there are many, many options that, again, we haven't mentioned, but I think overall, whatever this is for you, group 4, this is feeling really good. And I see this Queen of Imps here on this particular card as the young imp that we had here, or even this witch here. but leveled up. There's been growth. So not only have you reached your goals, but you have grown so much during this process. Where you were once this new kid on the block here, you're now the one who other people reach out to consult with. Yeah. Or you may find too, within this, that the answers that you seek are actually much closer to your fingertips than you once anticipated. Things don't seem quite so tricky or so tough down the road. So regardless of what this situation, this event is, this goal is, there is a lot of happiness, there's a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction with this pile. Yes, there is going to be work required on your part, and yes, it may be a little intimidating at times, but stick with it, lean into others, and stay diligent because beautiful things are unfolding for you. So I'd like to see if we have any last messages for you, Group 4. I'll take a look at this Oracle card from the Illustrated Bestiary. I don't think I mentioned what it was in the first two decks, or first two groups. And we have Grow Your Truth, Black Snake. Oh, this is cool. And I mean, we're talking about growth right here. This, I don't think, could be any more perfect. So what I want to do with this also, I'm being pulled to read from the book. I didn't do that, I think, for the first two. Black Snake. Oh, beaver, black bear, black snake. Here we are. So many moons ago in a garden far away, Snake slid up to Eve and said, "You have a choice. While free will isn't evil, it is complex. It requires each of us to define our own moral center and know what we stand for." Because without this knowledge, it's easy to steer off course or be misled by smooth talkers and slick ideas. We grow when we see through the rhetoric and acknowledge our own truth. Each true choice expands you until, as you outgrow who you used to be, your past begins to bind and itch. Black Snake slides in to remind you that growth requires release. She says, "Let go of what no longer serves so you can continue to expand into your truest self." So this really is about growth. I like this idea, and I feel like it resonates strongly with this Seven of Imps and standing your ground, moving forward with your own journey and path, even when things are a bit tricky or a bit scary. And this also, again, maybe a nod back to what we mentioned earlier, that bit of extra advice to trust your gut and trust your inner compass, not to get sucked into consuming too much of what other people say. I know we did say to lean into other people because that message was very clear and very important for you. It's almost like we're taking all the things that we're learning here. We have this rainbow. But it's also equally important to take things, again, with a grain of salt. As we're making our own truth here, we're shedding those skins. Yeah. Your personal agency, again, is the key to your sovereignty. Remember, you are the author of your own story. And so if we spend too much time researching things or consuming other things, there's no time to weave your beautiful tale to create what's, coming on the outside, to shed that old skin and create the new. You may be missing out on some things. So you can begin now. Yeah. The time is absolutely right, Group 4. So Group 4, that's what I have for you today. And as always, I appreciate you. I have big gratitude for you and your active presence here with us. And I'm sending you all my love. Let us know you're part of the Group 4 crew in the comment box below by sharing the snake emoji. And if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, this is a great time to go back and check them out to see what other messages you may have from your guides today. And if you felt this video was of value or entertaining, please give it a like and share it with others who may benefit from it as well. And if you are somebody who subscribes, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And we're blessed to have you as part of our community. We'd love it if you'd join us if you haven't yet. Much love to you today, Group 4. Thank you for being here with us, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, my friends.